Well, hello, friends. Thank you for coming to my page. I thought that it was about time that I took a little serious time to share with you my thoughts on what's going on in the world today. Um, if you're aware of the war that's taking place and the inhumane practices that is taking place. I have been watching it ever since the conflict started, and I am a person who is outraged at anyone treating any human being less than decent. I was looking up some words. Define cruelty.
Cruelty means callous indifference to or pleasure in causing pain and suffering.
Cruelty, callous indifference causing pain and suffering. It is right there on my phone. You can read it. The definition of cruelty. That is what I see taking place in the Middle East. And just a second. I just had I just received a message from someone and I'm checking my mail. That's what I do. And I won't respond to that. Oh, hi, Mark. Happy Friday to you too. Um, I was a young minister years ago, and you guys know that I don't do that anymore. But I've been looking at what's going on. Three hospitals bombed in one day. Now I'm witnessing, and it's happening. I'm witnessing civilians being shot down, bodies left in the streets, on the highway. That's all right about it. I'm getting notifications from elsewhere, but I'll check that out. Here's my question. Why isn't the sane world saying anything. The world powers that be are not powers at all. I am also having a mind to think that in terms of what's going on, and I'm taking my time with this because when I see people in my own country well, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I recall years ago, there was a barbarous, yeah, we call him a barbarous black man that was killing other black people in Africa in an African country, and how outraged we American blacks were as we sat here in our comfortable homes and our air conditioned churches. I have a question. How can it hurts me to my heart to even think of this? And I do have a plug in my heart, and I have to be careful. I haven't been on live because I didn't know how to say what I'm about to say. I was a young man years ago. I had just taken the pastorate of the Olivet Baptist Church here in Los Angeles. It was in the 70s, and I had been pastoring the church a number of years. And I had elected a younger man to be my associate because it was my intention to pastor a church of younger people than myself. I didn't want to pastor a church with a bunch of old people in it because I was vibrantly living in a society where, like in Palestine, where I'm having three persons notify me, and I can't pause. Let me see. Wow, I'm just reading something. Mm. Somebody send me some information and I'll respond to it later. Let me tell him. I'm doing a YouTube live right now. You can join me on my YouTube page and watch live. It's my YouTube address is John Cole 1234. No spaces. All right. I, I'm I'm back. I'm sorry I had to cut away because someone's sending me some information that is, we were talking another elderly gentleman as myself, and but let me get back to the main objectives. I had elected this young man as my associate.
New York, New York, +1 347 366 2834.
I cannot take this call. This is from New York City. Let me let him know that I am doing this live right now. Miguel, you always call me. I'm going to show you. You always call me when I'm doing a YouTube live.
Oh, no problem, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, man.
Be safe.
All right. That was a friend of mine from New York. And I'll talk to him later. I've never been a brawler. You know what a brawler is? It's a biblical term. A brawler is one that wants to fight somebody, start a war with somebody. You know? I feel like standing up. I sat down too much. But this conflict that has taken place in Israel has gone too far. I, as a grown, intelligent man, don't know why yes, I do know why. The other powers that be will not bring an end to the bloodletting that's going on. I believe that there will not be an end to it because of human beings' ability to be totally depraved. Totally. It's a term used by some old acquaintances of mine when we discussed people that we deemed were worldly. We would call those people sinners, totally depraved. I've been thinking for the past few days about Israel, how the country came about when I was 4 years old. And when I was born, what was happening to most of the white Jews in Europe, they were being massacred by other white men. And I'm sure that in the history of mankind, there has been black tribal factions from black people killing other black people in other parts of the world. I know that has taken place. I have to lean. I'm an old man now, so you know, and I'm trying to stretch. I believe that this engagement that's taking place with now Ukraine was a different situation because I don't understand Ukrainian politics. I don't want to understand Ukrainian politics and the Russians. I don't want to do that. I am concerned about what happens in Israel Because for years, when I was a pastor, Israel was what everything in my Bible rotated around. It was rotating around what happened with those Jews. Wait a minute, I'm getting another. I hope that my friend came in to check me out because I'm doing this live now, and I do want to talk with him, but can I FaceTime it on the phone? I well, let's see. All right, I'll try to FaceTiming him as I do this because he can't get me the other way, and so I'll do it this way. Um, I'm calling him. Okay, I got you. Now you
Okay,
just
that's
you just
that
pay
is.
you just pay attention because I'm doing the live now for my live YouTube audience.
Did I get you? I can hear. I can see you doing that.
Okay,
This
good.
is John Coleman.
Yes, yes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to I'm trying to set down here because I have my camera on and I was asking the people this question. What in the hell is wrong with our society when we see murderous conditions going on the other side of the world, and no one here in this country is saying a damn thing.
Well,
No one is saying anything about the inhumane treatment of children, old women, old men. Now they're gunning them down on the highways.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yes,
And they do the same thing to us
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if they could.
Well, they're doing it.
Yes, they are. And I I have a I'm gonna I'm adjusting my phone and so that you can see it at the same time I put it up and so that my YouTube audience can see it
Okay.
because I have a book in my library and I was telling my friends, oh, I see someone else. Michael, thank you for joining. Oh, thank you. You think I'm looking sharp, Michael? I don't know about that. This is the way I look. I'm in my study. But I have a book in my library, and this is the book. It's called The Black Panther, not the Pink Panther, but the Black Panther. And I think it was upon my 70th birthday, my daughter gave me this as a birthday present, and she told me to read through it because David Hilliard and Huey Newton and all those guys are my contemporaries. I grew up when they were young. And I recall, and I was telling my audience that when I had become a pastor, my associate minister, which was a young college graduate from San Diego State, and he was in my same family church. They had elected me as a pastor. I elected him as my associate pastor. And he said, John, have you ever thought about uniting with the Black Panther Party? And I bescathed them as something horrible. I said, no, we need to trust God. We need to live righteously. We need to do everything right. We need to live by a moral code that is above standard in every way. Well, I was wrong for telling him that. What I should have done was invited a group of the Panthers to come to the church that I was pastoring, a Baptist church, and to explain their agenda. But at that time, I was whitewashed like many African Americans in this country. We were taught to get our degrees. I have 3 of them on the wall here in my study. To live decently, I did. I worked for the LAPD 18 years in a civilian position. I've never been to jail. I've never been handcuffed. I've never got caught for selling dope, though I've smoked some in my lifetime. I'm not going to sit here and make out like I'm this perfect, almost 80-year-old cat. No. But at the same time, I believed in law and order and justice and doing what is right, only to see that everything that I was taught in this country about this country was a lie.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
damnable lie.
Mhm.
And that's why in 2016, because a lot of you that view me, because I know that you are, I see the counts going up on my count deal. You're looking at my old stuff. When I came out as a gay man in 2016, most of you church-bound hypocrites, that's what I'll call you, said that I had lost my mind. I haven't lost my mind. But I'm looking deep into the community that I'm associated with now as gay men. And sometimes I see stuff I don't agree with. Sometimes stuff I turn against. You guys remember when I was on the radio, doing live radio? Myself and Harley, our ratings were higher than anyone else in Los Angeles. No one is saying anything about the murderous condition of a government that I used to hold high. Wait, someone else is talking to me now, and they said, "Good afternoon, John." And this is Sir Black. Sir Black, I don't think I've ever seen you on the show, but thank you for commenting on the page. I'm talking about my outrage at what is happening to people in Palestine, man. I can't stand to see old women crying. Y'all don't know this stuff is messing with me. And nobody's saying anything. No one is saying anything. Everybody's just sitting on their hands in this country. I know we got chicken, fried chicken, we got bacon, we got grits, cornbread, stew. We can get in our car, we can go to the beach, we can do all that crap. We can go to Disneyland. Y'all know I haven't changed over all these damn years. Why isn't somebody saying something? Tell them to stop. Make Israel stop. What's wrong with the people? I'll tell you what's wrong with them. You agree with it. And I may lose my YouTube page. And if I lose it, I need to, that's genocide on a people. That's not war. You're targeting civilians. You're killing their babies. You're trying to erase their entire heritage. Mm-hmm. If that happened to black people, I'd be outraged. And we just sat here. I'm looking out my window right now. See, y'all don't know. I'm looking at, look how quiet it is out there. Isn't it? Oh, America. Look at this. Oh, we're safe. You know what? I'm going to tell you. When that shit hits home, you won't be thinking that way. There are people. Go ahead, brother. Talk to me.
It's coming. But John.
What?
The thing that you know why they aren't saying much? Because it is written, so it shall be. Who gonna say what, and what's gonna matter what they say?
Well, no, it's not about what they say. It's to become prophetic. We as black people are the prophetic people. We've always
Right.
been that.
Well, we're the true Israel. We are the true Israel. You know
Of
that.
course, we're the true Israel, and they were, and that's why I said I got to be careful because
Be
I swear
careful.
they will look at this and they'll kick me off YouTube.
And
Wait a
then they
minute.
come looking for me
All right,
because
wait.
we agree.
Sir Black says this. He says, the guiding principle of our faith is to love our neighbor, and we cannot support the actions of Israel, not in the name of God. That's correct. You
That's
can't. But not only do you reject what Israel is doing, but you have to call Israel out on it. Now, look, I know the only thing that I fear losing, and I'm trying to set up this stuff here. Only thing that I fear losing is my YouTube channel because I've been on here for years and all my work is on this thing. And I'm not going to write a book. I told you guys, I'm not going to write a book. Every time I do a YouTube live, that's me writing. And so that when I die, somebody can say, oh, John Coleman is, let me set this right there. So they can say, John Coleman is dead. Well, we don't have to hear his mouth anymore. No, you don't have to hear my mouth, but I hope that I drive a nail through your conscience. There's something wrong with America. There's something wrong with Black Americans because Black Americans need to be protesting what is going on. And though years ago, I don't believe in this, I now do. 100% because ain't nobody gonna listen. And the United Nations, the biggest joke in the world. All they do is meet and confer. I'm sitting in my office here watching this crap on live computers here.
It's all a lie.
It's all a lie. And everybody is just saying, well, it doesn't affect me. John, keep your voice down. You can't do anything about it. Yes, you can.
What do you think we can do?
You want to hear it?
Yes. By all means, let's start doing it.
First, identify a national leader. See, now there you go. See, you looking another way now.
No, I'm thinking.
Is that we must identify a national leader. A national leader who loves life and who loves people. It is obvious that the people that we have running these governments and all this bullshit around here don't love human beings. They don't. When I was a pastor of a church, I loved all the members of the church. I never spoke against gay people. If they were gay in that church, they never came out because I didn't come out. I didn't tell them people I was a gay pastor. I wouldn't dare do that. I wouldn't be able to walk upright because they've been so brainwashed against. And now in this society, you tell somebody you gay, they'll hire you.
I still think it's none of their business, but anyway.
Right. It is none of their business, but this is our business. We're seeing human beings. And when I look at the church, because I got old pastor friends of mine that have no confidence in me anymore. They say, John, you've lost your mind. No. This is not a little thing of Jesus here that I have around my neck. This is not Jesus. This is, I was in an African gift shop. Let me take it off and show it to you people. I'm going to show it to you first. I was in an African gift shop. And if you notice his face, it is black.
Yes,
it is black. This is what I've been trying to say. I have always been, people, a prophet, telling you people the truth. When I was on radio, when I pastored the church, when I did all that, I was telling you people the truth. And I'm telling you this right now, on my live YouTube, 29 minutes into it. God is going to judge this country.
Of course he
And
is.
and God is going to judge those of you, not me, because I'm opening up my mouth. I'm saying what is going on in Israel is wrong. The killing
Agreed.
of those
Agreed.
Palestinians is wrong. That's genocide. That is nothing but South African apartheid 20, 30 years ago. That's what that is.
Okay, John, but this is their means of bringing in the new world order. It is written. White man has been starting this new world order to come about, and it's still coming about. And this is just more into it now. It is written, John, already. So shall it be. There's nothing that's going to stop what the word already has written. There's going to be a new world order. And
you're speaking to a man. Wait a minute. You're speaking to a man. You're speaking to a man. Oh, I'm so glad. You're speaking to a man. Wait a minute. Let me grab it. You're speaking to a man that for the major part of his life
absolutely
read this book,
yes, sir. Yes,
taught
sir.
from it. I got 500 PowerPoint lessons. I've been a guest teacher in churches all over Southern California, all to see. Did you know? Look, this book can be a secret coded book for the enemy to bring about our demise.
Yes.
Now, I don't use the book that way. What I use the book, I use it the way these boys in the Black Panther Party wrote their constitution. Now, something interesting here, because when I open up the book, they have a picture of a Black Panther. I'm going to try to put it in front of the camera so the people out there can see it. See, they have a picture of a Black Panther on there because now I'm going to show you something. I got to get it out of my closet here. I got to step away from the camera. And because when I was doing, and these people that I'm talking to on YouTube that know me, they know me. All right. I had a shirt that I wore. And on that shirt, when I went all over town, they saw my name, Pastor John Coleman. But on this one, look what else they saw. Let me try to get it so you can see it. It's a bulldog. And it's a bulldog. It says, into the word, the biblical alternative. Now, let me tell you something. If I knew that this book was telling people, like them people over there in Israel are doing now, killing those Palestinians, I mean, I would tear that patch off my shirt, man. I would have to erase all the work that I did because when I read about Israel fighting for its survival, I didn't read about Israel unless they said God told them to go in and kill. Oh, that's what I want to say. I was thinking about it this afternoon. In all the Old Testament scriptures where you see God telling the Jews to go into Canaan land and go into this land and that land and to kill all those people up in there. I never could wrap my finger around the way there's women and babies and what kind of a God is this?
Obliterate all of them.
Yes. And I asked my pastor before I became a pastor, because that was my family church. I asked my pastor, who is an educated man, 2 master's degrees in theology. I got one. That's enough because I studied under him, sat in that church Bible study, my wife and I, for years and years. And I asked him, why would God tell the Jews to go into Canaan land and kill all them people, and and to kill them like that. And my pastor told me, he said, "Well, John, that was God's way of getting rid of evil in the world." Now, I didn't know what to answer my pastor, because here's a man that I respected, that I love, and I'm in my 20s, man. I'm in my mid 20s. When I married my wife, I was 23. And so I'm a young man, and I'm asking these questions. And he said, "John, there's wicked people, and God had to rid the world of wicked people." Well, I'm looking. And at that time, I also was doing studying research, and the Black Israelites were Black people. Okay. They weren't these white European Jews that really are not Jews. They're really not Jews. They're Europeans with a tremendous hatred of civilization. And you know, they have a new movie coming out on Napoleon. Yes, it's coming out this November, and I want to go see it in the theaters because I want to see if they're gonna get that history right. Napoleon was the one that shot the nose of the Sphinx off of that big lion with a human head because of the Negroid features. Napoleon did that historically, because when you look at the Sphinx, you say, why is his nose off? That was Napoleon playing target practice. I know white folk. I know white folk. I tell people, I said, I work with white people. I have nothing against, but I'm saying that there's something there that causes them not to see the pain of other people. Come on. Come on now. Yeah. Oh. Yes. See, and our young people, we couldn't build an army if we had to, because our young people are so in la la land that if this thing turns and comes over here, where they say, well, now we got to get rid of all the Black people. Like this civil war, they think that they want to do. What is it? Not the civil war per se, but what do they call it? Race war.
Unknown caller.
I just let that thing ring. I'm not even going to pick it up. I'm not. No. It's all right. It's all right. Wait a minute. I had to. That was somebody calling me. Yeah, that was somebody calling me. I'm always getting calls in this office. I'm always getting calls in this office. Even though I'm retired, they call me. I don't want to talk. You'll never be retired, brother. You spreading word. See, because I told them years ago this was coming. I told them years ago, brothers, this is coming. All of this, everything's going to be all right. No, it's not. Because I don't see how the other Arab nations are going to sit idle and watch this. They can't. They're idol worshippers also. You know, nobody believes in the God of Isaac, Jacob, and Abraham anymore. They're trying to get him out of the Bible. You know, they're idol worshippers. Now, this is what I do. This is what I do. And I don't know about your belief about another person's belief. I taught, as my audience knows, I taught world religions when I was a college professor. And when I taught that class, I had to take the class because a professor was going on a sabbatical, and she needed someone to take her world religions class. And so my boss asked me, "Have you ever taught world religions?" And I didn't lie. I told him, "Yeah, because I teach from the Bible, and that's a world religion." They gave me the class. Now, what they did is they also, because when you teach, I'm looking for the other book, and I know I have it here. I've shown it many times, but in my philosophy book, here we are. It's right here. My world religions. And it was in this book, the beautiful book, when I taught it in the junior college system here in Los Angeles. I began to study world religions. And there was an interesting time when I had to teach on, and you, my friend, probably heard of this guy because he came out when we were young men. And the name of this book that I have in my library is called The Satanic Bible by Antoine LaVey. Now, wait a minute. Antoine LaVey came out with this religion the year that I was drafted in the Army of the United States of America. I get drafted, I get sent to Korea. I'm in Korea, and my brothers and sisters are writing me, and they said, "Junie, did you hear about this new religion?" And it's called the Satanic Bible by Antoine LaVey. I had never heard of it. When I got out of the Army, I got baptized. I became pastor of a church. I became a Christian apologist. And I was saying that this is of the devil. This whole thing is of the devil and it's evil and all of that. I had never read Antoine's book. Like someone said, you want to hide anything from a black man, put it in a book because he ain't going to read. But no, here I am, 3 collegiate degrees. I read. I had not, and that's the way he looked. He even made himself look, sacrilege because that was a part of his scheme. But there was something that I learned when I read about Antoine LaVey, because they have him in this book, The Church of Satan. And when I read it, and I'm looking for it, man. And
that's the world religions book.
Yes, this is the world religions book that I'm looking through. Okay. Because when it goes there, and wait, I got to go to the right page for the Satanic Bible, because it was one of the newer religions that came up. I should have had this stuff ready, but I didn't know that the conversation was going to go this way. Anyway, this is what his main theme was. His main theme was love yourself above anybody else. And I thought, and I said, he's right. Yes. Okay, I see the Tony Frazier's on, and he says he read the book and still have it. Yes. Yes, Tony, don't throw it out. See, what we're too apt to do, we take this Bible that the white man shoved down our throat when we were brought over here and picking cotton and everything else, building the White House and everything else. They had this on us, and then they told us, submit to your leaders. Yes, don't talk back to them. Submit to your master. Well, I never had no master over me as a human. Never. And my brothers in the Black Panther Party were good at saying that they never had no masters over them. Well, wait a minute. I got another person join the tirade. It says, this is G Mars, and he says, "Hey, Pastor John, great to see you still on the front line. Peace and blessings." Thank you, brother. I'm not dead yet. See, a lot of people want PJ to be dead, but he's not dead. I'm still on the front lines, and I'm saying what is taking place. And you know what? I'm putting the plea out there. Every true church of our God and Creator should condemn Israel for what they're doing. Stop sending them money. Stop sending them approval. They're killing innocent human beings. They're killing babies. You know what they're trying to do? Cut off the entire bloodline of the Palestinians. If that happened here, you better call me up because I'd be your general on the damn front lines. But you know what? The technology is so great. They got my address right now. They could send a bomb right down my chimney right now and kill me. And that's the way they're killing them people over there. And it's sending a ground army in. You know what that is? That's just to make the blood level boil in those Israeli soldiers as they go and take revenge. Now, I said it was wrong for them to attack that rock concert and kill those people. But when you look at the way those people are living over there, man, the Palestinians that are working in Israel needed a visa to cross the border to go and clean their toilets. And then they're going to lock them up when they're over there and start beating them.
Well, don't that remind you of something? Another period in time?
Yes, it does. And here I am in the modern era. See, brother, I thought I'd be dead by now. I thought I'd be dead. I didn't know that I'd still be alive to see this carnage taking place. I only read about it in my Bible. I didn't think. You know what I used to tell him at Olivet? I told him, I said, don't worry, we're going to all be dead before this take place. I said, we got too much sense in this world to do that. And to see them blow up refugee camps with people in it. And how am I supposed to watch Thursday night football and enjoy the game? How?
That's what it's designed for you to do, to take your mind off of what's going on.
We are the most depraved group of people that ever lived on the planet. Did you see that movie Apocalypto by Mel Gibson? It was a movie. It was a movie. It was just like we're going through right now.
Was that before the Passion?
I think that was after the Passion.
Oh, okay.
That was after the Passion. Let me see who this G Mars is. He tried to send me. G Mars, say something. If I may know you, G Mars, I don't know. Let me know who you are. Because see, my brother, I was a pastor and a lot of people knew me. A lot of people know me. A lot of people in the Christian church think I lost my mind. I haven't lost my mind.
That's because they don't know the truth.
See, if they want to hear me preach, they can go to my YouTube page. I got almost 500 messages, sermons, Bible studies, and all that stuff. The only reason I haven't taken them off is because it's my history, my life.
Take them off.
I'm not going to take them off because I still believe a lot of that.
And look you over.
Yeah. See, I'm not going to take them off because I let people know this is who I am. This is who I am. And even when I talk with a lot of people, that's in my lifestyle, I try to tell them, just because you're gay, don't be crazy.
Okay.
I say, don't be crazy. Don't do crazy things because people don't want to see crazy things in front of them. You don't want to do that. And damn it, the gay community, sometimes I don't know whether they listening to me or thinking that I'm out of my mind, man. And look, What can we do? Okay, we have to find a national leader that we as Black people in the Northern Hemisphere of the Americas can put our confidence in. Stop looking for a leader that ain't going to want to play around. Because if his wife cut him off, what you think he going to do? Okay? And if you think I'm going to follow a female as my leader, no, because she, unless she's a real superwoman, she got to know when to fight and how to do it. You notice something about this party, the Black Panther Party? Brothers, man. Now, they had some sisters in the party, but these were brothers, man. And wait a minute. Don't count gay people out, because it was a gay man that put the whole March on Washington, D.C. on the map.
Okay.
Martin Luther King didn't do that. That was a gay man that did that.
Yes.
See, and Martin didn't want him anymore because he didn't want the stigma of a sissy. That man wasn't no sissy.
No.
That man framed that thing. Those are the kind of men we need leading us. Now you got all kind of people in the Black community.
Give me his name again.
I just saw a special on him, man. I must be getting old. If anybody know the man's name, tell me.
I know him. I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Here's G. Mars talking to me. G. Mars says, I took basics of the faith classes with you 20 years ago. I also attended your church when you were at the school at Ladera. Well, brother, I can tell you, I have forgotten you. Please keep the acquaintance going. I am still alive. I am here. I don't know why all my so-called God-loving Christian friends don't want to have anything to do with me. They won't even contact me. But that's why I do these lives, because somebody told me to write a book about my experiences with the church. And I said, no, I'm not going to write a book. I'm going to keep doing these YouTube lives until I die. And then when they don't see me no more and hear me no more, they'll know that I'm here no more. But brother, I am glad to hear you and see you. Yes, Tony, I remember that you took basics with me. Most of the people took basics because I was trying to keep them out of these crazy charismatic churches. Because when you go to a crazy charismatic church, they're going to have you speaking in tongues, giving all your money to the preacher, and acting a fool, and you don't even know why you're doing that. You don't even know why you're doing it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm here doing, you guys know what this is? These are called my meds. And I've been up all day, and I did not take my meds. So while I do this cast, I'm just going to put my meds out. We need a national leader. Do any of you that's listening to me right now think that there is a national leader, a man of the African American nature that can lead our people? If you do, please type his name. Oh, thank you. That's right. His name was Bayard Rustin.
Yeah.
Rustin.
What's the first name? Bernard.
Yes. Bernard Rustin.
Yes.
That's who that was. And he's the one that put the march together and everything.
But he was known to be gay.
He was known to be gay, and that embarrassed because J. Edgar Hoover was on Martin Luther King's behind, and J. Edgar Hoover was a hideout gay. See, and so, you know, man, this whole thing is crazy. Everybody has sexual preferences, and you'd be surprised to find out who's digging who.
Thank you.
Leave that alone.
That has nothing to do with nothing.
Right. You can't control that. But we need a national leader in this country, a black leader. So tell me, brethren, what enters into your mind when I mention the name Farrakhan? Do you think he qualifies as a national leader?
He's been around a long time.
Yeah, he's been around a long time and he's older. We need a younger man, huh? Hey, well, how about the psychologist? The psychologist, what's his name? Umar Johnson, what's his name? The psychologist? Would he make a good leader? We need a leader, a national leader. African Americans in this country don't have one. I know you're not going to let Cornel West get in there because Cornel West loses his mind too quickly. See, I was thinking of the Secretary of State. I was going to think of Tavis Smiley because Tavis Smiley got a good brain.
Him already.
Yeah, but they already, dehumanized him because he liked women and couldn't control his whatever that was. We need, but look at what Clinton did when he was in there.
And, and so he's just getting some head. Okay.
Right. Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. I remember that. I did not touch that woman. You lying, you did.
I did not have sexual relations with
I did not have that, and he knew that he had it.
Of course he did. He was a liar just like the rest of us.
Oh, man, your study, your study looks just like mine, man.
Oh yeah, but those are just records.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I got to stack myself. I'm going to have you come over, man. You're going to have to come over.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's what another thing I texted you about that you never did respond, but I texted you on that.
Yeah, well, I've been looking at this war. That's what I've been looking at. I've been looking at. All right, let me see. They say,
brother, I'm gonna have to run.
But, all right, you go ahead. I got to finish my.
I think I caught you now. I think I can get into your space here on YouTube.
Yeah, go to YouTube and go to live, and you'll be able to see that.
Live, right.
All right, thanks for the call.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, John.
See, I get a lot of calls, people. I get a lot of calls. People calling me. I'm making new friends all the time. Let me swallow I got to take my iron. The last time I went into the hospital and I had this prostate thing where my bladder had gotten affected and they had to pump my bladder out. And because I was bleeding and they had to give me blood because they said, man, you were anemic on us. And so they have me taking these iron tablets. That's what I'm doing, is I'm peeling out the iron tablets because I am 79. And, when you get older, you get ill. But thank you for sticking around with me. And I appreciate all you brothers that took basics with me. Lucy and I love you for that because that was one way how we lived. When I charged you guys for those classes, we were eating off that because I have a very what do I call it? The way I teach and preach is quite different from these other preachers. I never hoop. I never spoke in tongues. I never took advantage of people. I didn't do that. But now I fall back on my moral code of the Bible because that's all I have. But wait a minute.
Unknown caller.
See, and I'm not going to take it because they just keep calling and I'm very busy. I am very busy. And I guess that's good because that keeps me alive. But what kind of a leader? Okay, nobody's going to respond. I don't think any leader can help us. I think we have to look deep down within ourselves and find the goodness that lies somewhere deep down within us and just to be good people. I had a young man come and visit me, and he hung around, and I ordered dinner. Thanked him for coming by to visit. He left. 3 o'clock in the morning, he called. He's 24 years old. He called. He said, I have nowhere to live. Can you help me out for a couple of months? I told him I'd reached capacity. I can't do that. And I hung up. And guys, I felt terrible. I felt like I had, Tony, I felt so bad. He called me 3 o'clock in the morning crying, a 24-year-old crying. I don't have anywhere to stay. I, I got a job as a security guard. I'm hungry. You fed me. You treated me like a human being. And one of the guys that come through and do webcasts told me, John, you should have taken him in. I said, no, I don't have the money. I don't have the funds. I can't do that. It's rough for everybody out there, people. It's rough. You have an entire community out there. I believe that the only reason that God has me alive is that I'm still caring for people. I had somebody contact me today over the phone. Can you help me out? Because they know it's the first of the month. I only live off my Social Security out that Lucy left for me. I don't have any other money coming in. I'm one of those pastors that never wanted to take money from church people. No, they never gave me a retirement because I didn't think that I'd ever retire from being a pastor. I thought I was going to die behind the pulpit like my pastor did. I didn't know that I was going to end up the way I'm ending up here. I had no idea. I got to get back with my old friend. Yeah, I'll get back with him. See, I believe one of the guys told me not to mention it, but I'm going to say it to you folks because you're listening. I believe that this is the thing, just like my buddy that just got off the phone. This is the new world order. This is how they're going to shorten the population. Somebody had to start doing it. So it appears to me that somebody created a state where they could do it with them. It's ripe. The people were multiplying. Look at Palestine. Most of the civilization there are under 23. They're young people. I was a Christian pastor because I thought that Christianity was the easiest way to, watch Vicky Dillard's YouTube channel. Watch Vicky. Watch Vicky. I watched one of her. That's what made me come on today because I watch Vicky Dillard and she knows what's going on. Tony, how do you help yourself? You know what? I don't know. I don't have the answers. That's why I ask you guys, what should we do? Who can be our leaders? If not Farrakhan, Farrakhan has the right demeanor about the situation because he knows his enemy. I know mine too. I know who my enemy is. But my enemy doesn't see me as a threat because he knows that I don't have the answer. Thank you, Mark. I hope you follow her. Listen to her latest cut where she talks about this situation because some church folk came and called her a hypocrite and told her because she believes in ancestral uh, worship and recognition. I believe in that. I believe that the spirit of my ancestors are guiding me. The spirit of David Hilliard and Huey Newton and those guys are guiding me. And they started to call Vicky a blasphemer when she's trying to tell them historically about what happened over there in that region in 1948. That was just a way to get a so-called democracy over there. Do you know what's over there in the Middle East? Do you know what's over there? What they have? They used to have a TV program called the Beverly Hillbillies. And when it came on, they used to call how they moved to Beverly Hills. They said because they had discovered black gold on their property. And the first place they moved was to Beverly Hills. We used to watch that show. And ever since, television, Hollywood, and all of that was to keep people's mind off of the reality of what these men are doing. I think that we can win this war over all this shit by staying unified in our minds, making sure that our spirits are guided by the principle of human love. That's the only way that you can defeat Israel because America's sending there too many bombs and rockets and the technology. And if they don't like me, they can make one of these satellites send a bomb right down my chimney and kill me. Cut off my YouTube page. Cut off all truth from everybody. Wonder what would happen. I believe that we need a code, not a leader. Then he says, oftentimes, when the leader dies, the movement dies with him. That's why I said love never dies. That's why I chose love as a catalyst of my Christian belief, because I knew that if I loved everybody and manifested that love to them and showed by my life that love, the world would be a better place, a safer place to be. A code. Well, what code do we live by now? We see that the Bible has been corrupted. A preacher asked me, John, do you believe in the resurrection of Jesus Christ? And I asked Pastor James, I said, which Christ? I said, I believe that there was a historical Jesus. We will never know his true character, but he was a whiz kid. Yes, he was. You can never get him in an argument. He never lied. He wasn't afraid of anything. And he was a daring personality because he chose 12 men, of whom all of them never lived up to the code. Yeah, my brother, we need a code. But I want you to share with me because what do I have? I have 20 more minutes. What kind of a code are you talking about? Define that code. How is that code developed? You have young men that are raised in black homes with no fathers. They don't know what a father look like, so don't tell them to pray, "Our Father which art in heaven." He can't relate to the term at all. We have young women that believes that twerking and bouncing their booties all over the place and eating all these fattening foods make them look like, and unfortunately some of our young men think that that is the cream of the crop when you got all this fat on you. Number one, it's unhealthy. Number two, nobody will be able to carry the coffin. Simple as that. Do a liposuction after she dies. I would never marry a woman like that. I think that when a person lets themselves go to that degree, that they have lost a sense of what decent humanity look like. That's my opinion. I'll never change. Why? Because I go by a code. Gmar says that he believes that we need a code, but I'm saying, what kind of a code? How do we develop this code? See, codes are lived out by discipline, and the black community is not disciplined. I remember they used to tell me, "Hurry up and finish your sermon, John, so we can go home and finish up and watch some good football." I would preach longer because I said, you need to go by the code of conduct, which is God's word. And you worried about the Redskins, the Browns, the Rams, and the Bears, and don't even know what's about to come on you. I will say this. Some of those older saints in the church, I'm envious of them because a lot of them died before all this manure started to happen. And really, I wonder who goes to church these days. As a matter of fact, any of my listeners that's doing it now, do you still go to church? And if the answer is no, give me a short sentence and tell me why. I'm curious. We got time. There's a vision. It's a vision church. It's for us weird people, I guess you can call us, because we care a lot for our own kind. I go to one of those things and I don't go often because I don't get what I need from there. What I need from there is more solid discipline. I need somebody to tell me what I'm doing wrong and to straighten out. Well, I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't have to go to church because of what it says in Psalms 119. His word have I hid in my heart that I might not sin against him. Whether it's a him or her, because I don't know what sex God is. I don't know. But do you guys still go to church? And why? And I've been trying to get another pastor to come in the studio here and have a discussion with me. And because I've had a couple of them tell me that I'm going to bust tail wide open. And I said, would you be willing to come on YouTube live and tell me that to my face? I love everybody. I help everybody as much as I can. I compliment people that I come in contact with constantly. and I'm not involved in any criminal thing. I've never been to jail. I've never been handcuffed. Uh, I'm not doing anything illegal over here. What makes me a sinner? Where am I sinning? I don't get it, you see. But I'll tell you one thing. I do enjoy doing these YouTube lives. And you don't have to tell me about the leader. I was just wondering what you think because some of you are leaving. Uh yeah, of course. They have to get money, and then you have to look at the way the leader of the church lives after money, and look at the way the leader lives. But after you go to church, this is my idea. After you attend church, a real one, where they're teaching you moral absolutes and how to live with your neighbor, after you go there, how often do you have to go? My wife and I, we spend most of our adult lives in that organization. I'm wondering if I belong to an organization like that today, how would they respond if I told them, don't support Israel at all in anything, in anything? Thank you for coming to my site. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for having patience. Now you know why I haven't been on the air for a while. This thing is bothering me. And if I had the chance, I'd do this. Yeah, I'd do this. I hope it never comes that way over here where they're going to try to get rid of all of us. Because if they try to get rid of all of us, I preached a sermon called It Was a Bloody and Nasty Thing. That sermon was on what Easter was all about. You know, that Sunday tickles me. I remember the church was packed. The sermon is up on my YouTube page. And you should watch it. I watch it now and then. I must watch it at least 10 times because I described what Calvary was like. On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. Yes, yes, Gmar says he still goes to church, but he's conflicted, he says. I can understand that, man. Because the more that I have learned over the years has caused me to question. Brother, that's what happened to me. Yep. And to analyze everything, that's what happened to me. I tried to tell a pastor friend of mine. He said, what happened to you? I said, I got older. I'm wiser. I think. I think. And the math ain't mathing for me too much anymore. That's right. It's not adding up. And since you're an adult and you're smart because God made you that way, you think through it. Oh, Tony, I love you, son. See, Tony was in my class over there 20 years ago. He's a young boy, a young man. Tony says, this is church right now. Because see, Tony knows my heart. I didn't turn into an evil man. I didn't do that. I became enlightened. And people will use religion and everything to get what they want out of you, to get you to respond in a certain way. I want the real people. that are about righteousness. Say it. Don't be afraid to lose your job. If you're a good employee, this is the way I look at it. If you're a real good employee, they're not going to get rid of you because you take a stance. Just go to work and do your work. Don't go there trying to don't. I guess this is church for me too, Tony. It's like a bully pulpit because I only come on here and I never let anybody know when I'm coming on. It's when I get an inkling to. I have to feel it before I come on and start talking. And I feel real proud of myself because I did it. And usually what I do, because and this isn't illegal, this is, I had a doctor's advice to advise me about my sativa. Sativa helps older people. It helps their mind. I didn't even hit my pipe today. See? It's stone cold because I don't need a pipe to tell you the truth. This thing is going to kick off into World War III, and I'm going to give it to you right now. Wait a minute. Tony said, I just finished. Okay, go ahead on with your bad self. Go ahead on, boy. Woo! I know you're telling the truth. I know you're telling the truth. Who contacted me? Oh, okay. Yeah. Mark sent me something to read. The sheet is the Israel-Palestine conflict connect. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll watch this. Thank you. I will watch that. But yeah, I have friends of mine that have me up on this pedestal, this idea, and they won't let PJ become a real man. Oh, that's Pastor John, the one that hugged our kids and our grandkids. That's the one that christened my child. That's the one that performed the wedding ceremony. I'm a man. And it's wrong what Israel is doing over there. And if the world does not condemn her, if there is a deity, he will. Now, you remember what they taught us in the evangelical church? That whoever turns against Israel, God is going to turn against him. Do you really think God's going to turn against me for telling the truth what some people are doing to those other people? If you do, you don't know the God I know. Because the God I know hates evil. Was it evil what the Palestinians did? Yes, it was. Do you understand why they did it? Yes, I understand why they did it. Just like I understand when we blacks broke out of that slavery and what they call that Jim Crow bull crap. Yes. I think of a black man going jogging one day, running down the street. He comes upon a piece of property. He walks on the property. No workers are there. Just looking at it. He was jogging. Yeah. And three three white boys. A father and a son and a neighbor. Saw the black boy come out of the property, continue his jogging, and followed him. I watched that one very close. And got out and shot him. That one hurt me because I used to jog and ride my bike, exercise. I know how good it feels to breathe fresh air. They shot that boy. I ain't think about it now. I can't think about it, man. Something go through me. Shot that boy. You didn't shoot that boy. You know you didn't. No. I hope them clowns never see daylight. Well, let me stop. Let's see. Thank you, Tony. I still read too. And ah, Tony said he just finished Shakur's book. I heard about that book and I think I'm going to get that one. I want to read that too. I have a lot of reading to catch up on. Brothers, thank you for tuning in. And I hope that I feel better next time. You see, where talking about this takes me right over the edge. And I want you to be consistent in your life. Uh, this little figure up here, just let me say this. I think Jesus put it this way: if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If you're going to pick up arms, make sure that you have more arms than your enemy has. That's just a little street wisdom. If you're going to pick up arms, make sure that you got more than they have and that you can survive the conflict. PJ, loving you forever. Stay cool.